So we're going to do that tonight. So the three things that we'll look at relative to skills and attributes are the qualities it takes, the skills, and then the attitude. And to do that, we need to self-assess. And so we'll talk about that here. Know our strengths as a human being and as a manager and as a leader in an organization. Know our weaknesses. Determine the best approach, knowing, taking that into consideration, what your strengths and weaknesses are, and then step up and lead. So Quinn Studer, who UNM has hired, the Studer Group, which is Baldrige methodology, that they help healthcare organizations through a Baldrige-based journey. And even though UNM, I don't think it's any intention of going for the Baldrige, they are using some of the methods and concepts that we've all learned in Baldrige.
You're describing quality association members.
Fire starters, right? And people in this room probably are. And Quint refers to them as fire starters. And others used to say, well, yeah, you always stir the pot. Well, maybe now I have a bit nicer name, fire starter, right? So everyday fire starters nationwide are focusing on actions that have purpose, create worthwhile work, and make a difference through an unshakable commitment to excellence. And I'm sure those sitting here tonight, giving up your evening, have that unshakable commitment, and I applaud you for that. All right, so first let's take a look and talk a little about qualities. So mostly qualities are kind of personality driven, right? These are kind of things that you're born with and you've nurtured over time, and that you kind of are you, right? People might say about you these things. Well, you know, he or she's very visionary, or they're a really good thinker. I like how they think things through. Oh, they're so patient. Every time I come to them with a new idea, they're so patient. They listen well. They're optimistic. They always look at the glass half full, right? We in quality always have to look at the glass half full.
Yeah, right.
Right? We have to love to learn, because what's quality about is always improving. So we have to be good learners. We have to enjoy learning. Deliberate people. We are people that take action. We are people that take steps to shake up the world, to put it back together, to look at the outcomes, right? Professional. Always have to be professional when it comes to improvements, because you're always going to run into the other side of the fence, right? Unselfish and always credits others, because none of us can lead change without the help of a group, a team, a bunch of people helping us. And if we are trying to take all the credit, that's not going to work, because you won't get help the next time you need it, right? So being unselfish. So these are things that are really helpful as human beings, how we want to approach change. Any other qualities you can think of that aren't up there? Okay, well, we'll move on to skills. Now, I might not have everything in the right category, but I've tried to. Okay, so skills. Now, these are things that I think people can learn, right? So these are things you can practice. You can learn, you can take class, you can be coached, right? These are things that maybe don't come as easy for you. Listening. I'm sure we've all have taken our turns being a really good listener and maybe not listening so well, right? Questioning. We have to be, we're curious. We want to know, well, how does it work now? Why does it work that way? Who set it up? Why did they set it up? What's the outcome, right? We just questions, all the time questions, right? Strategizing. Some of us are better at strategy than others. Timing is important. You know, when do you go talk to your boss about a new idea you might have, right? You have to be sensitive to timing. Diplomacy, right? It's probably not going to be just in your department, so how are you going to, you know, manage talking to all these different groups? You have to be diplomatic. That can be learned. Diplomats go to diplomat school, right? We can all learn those skills. Handling criticism, you're going to get it thrown at you, no doubt, right? How are you going to handle it? Smile. Thank you, Marlene, for your compliment. Right? Be picking up the chair and throwing it across the room. Planning, organizing. Some of us are better at organizing than others, right? My presentation I got to do tomorrow was with a guy who's just brilliant. I mean, he's got all these amazing ideas, and he's like, he said, I can't get it organized. I just can't, I can't. It's like, yes, you can, you have to. You know, so different people have different skills, right? They come to the table with different skills. About mobilizing people, right? How do you get people spun up? How do you get them excited about wanting to change?
Make them see your dream.
I can see your dream. That's right, Doug. All right, so I want you to think about your own attitude about change at work. What is your own attitude about change? Like if somebody said to you tomorrow, guess what? Our department's going to merge with their department. Right? How would you, what would be your reaction inside of you? Not to what you'd say, but what's going on in your head?
Donkeys fly.
Can donkeys fly? Okay.
Holy crap.
Holy crap. Right. What else?
Engage and develop.
Engage and develop.
And envelop.
Envelop. Yeah. What else would you think?
To fight to make sure the things that are important to you get done.
Right. It's like, well, you start thinking, what's important to me, right? How's that going to change what's important to me? And maybe a little protective there.
Did I just hear you say what's most important to me? I would think it's what's most important to the organization.
Well, we're just saying what people might think if somebody said that to you.
Okay.
It's a possibility. So here we are, a bunch of quality folks, passionate about quality, and even as a group, we're like, I don't know about that. I don't know how that's going to go. Merging two departments, yikes, right? So can you imagine people that aren't as adaptable and flexible as we are? Yeah, it's tough, tough. So the third part of being a good change agent or change master is an attitude of servant-mindedness, right? So I'm sure all heard about being a servant leader, right? That's nothing new. That's been around a while. Leading with others in mind, right? Valuing diverse opinions. Oh, tell me why this won't work. Tell me what your biggest fears are, right? Tell me what are your priorities, right? Developing other leaders, right? We can't do it by ourselves. Grab those skill sets. Encouraging, helping people. Sells instead of tells. I like that. Right? We have to sell our idea, make sure people believe in what our vision is. You can't just tell them, we're going to merge these departments. No. There's the why component. We're going to be merging these departments because this is what it's going to do to help our budget. This is what it's going to do to help our customers. This is what it's going to do to help our stakeholders, right? Get into the why. Thinks about you, not me. It's like, oh, I got to push this through. No. How do you feel about it? You know, what's your feeling on it? All that takes time. All that takes a servant leadership attitude. And it really helps when you go back and you think about, the definition of servants, right? Somebody who serves somebody else, right? That's how you think about it. You think about how they would maybe bow down and fulfill your every need, right? And that, we're, as Americans, we're not that great at serving others. We really aren't. All about me, folks, all about me, what I want, when I want it, how I want it, right? But when you're going to lead change, it cannot be all about you. And I have had to learn that through the years. And I have led change activities that turned out to be hardly anything like my vision when I started. It still got us to where we wanted to go, But boy, I couldn't do it the way I had initially thought we were gonna do it.